Do you hide or shrink yourself to fit in? Do you not feel worthy? Do you feel like your voice doesn't matter? Do you feel like maybe you're not smart enough to be part of a room and a space? Do you feel like you're not good enough to even take up space? Do you feel unlovable? Do you feel not skinny enough? Do you feel not good enough? Not smart enough? Not regulated enough to even be part of anything? Well, I did. And I want to share with you what helped me to get through this process. And what I went through could help you go through what you might be going through. And that is why I have created this channel at I Say This With Love 33. My name is Leanne, and I am here to share my raw, true, authentic stories, the wisdom that I have gained throughout my journey. And I hope to spark something within you, maybe to touch a little bit on your heart, because if you're feeling things and you're not aware of what you're feeling or why you might even be feeling this, or you might not even be accepting that you do have feelings, but you know something inside you is like simmering up and you don't feel 100%, let's talk about it. Take a listen. Let's try to figure it out. Begin to ask yourself questions. What is it within me that's feeling like this? Why do I feel this way? There's a lot of reasons why, and there's a lot of places that we can go to begin the process of healing. And let's get this started, because I was this person. I used to just shrink. I would just try to hide and not be part of the scenery wherever we were. Now, I now know this, but I unconsciously chose to take the back seat in my relationship. So I didn't have the self-worth, the self-love, the self-contentment. I didn't have anything within me to feel that I had anything to offer the world. Now, this is something that I had to go through, and it's been a huge lesson in my life, and I have overcome that. But I know so many people, and there's so many of you out there that have this same feeling and the same life of trying to shrink, trying to not be seen. And I want to help you. I offer you love and compassion and grace and strength, because I want you to know, and I say this with love, everything you need is already within you. We just need to peel those layers and unlearn things to get back to your power and your light. And I got back to my power and my light through a lot of hard work, a lot of self-reflection, a lot of time that it takes to build and gain knowledge and understanding that you matter. Your voice matters. Your thoughts matter. You as a person here on this earth matter. And I didn't feel this for the whole 54 years of my life. The first 54 years of my life, I didn't feel that. I didn't know that. I felt very like underground, and my voice doesn't matter. My feelings don't matter. What I think doesn't matter. What I say doesn't matter. And what I've learned is when we feel that, we also project that. So if you have a hard time with speaking your truth, showing your authentic self, and stepping into your power and taking yourself as like a figure that matters, the people around you aren't going to be able to perceive you as that either. So if you wonder why, like, well, why does nobody listen to me, or why does nobody take me seriously, or why don't they think that I'm good enough or whatever? But I say this with love. Your outer world is a reflection of your inner world. So what you're putting out into the outer world, that is reflecting your inner world. Everybody else is going to pick up that energy. So if you want to find your power, your authority, your matter, you need to go in and heal things that make you feel that you don't have what it takes. Now, I've been through a lot of videos and have made a lot of videos on my journey. And my journey included going into these beautiful conferences and inner child healing and generational trauma healing, and opening up my heart and my mind to realize and understand and to accept that I am the co-creator of my life, and everything that I had created in my life before I started my healing journey, I called that in. Now, mind you, I didn't know that. And you might not know that. It's unconscious. We don't know that. We just think, oh, poor me, I'm such a victim, and this always happens to me, and this person's always mean to me, and this person doesn't listen to anything I say, and nobody listens to me. Well, that's a co-creation, and I offer you like love, and I say this with love, like stop and close your eyes and think about that. Everything that has happened in your world so far has been called in and co-created. Now, I know there's a lot of trauma and a lot of significant things that have happened to a lot of us, myself included, that we would have never like consciously called in to take place in our lives and cause so much trauma and fear and pain and devastation. But this can go way back, and perhaps past lives, perhaps your soul before you came to this earth to incarnate. And so this goes very deep, and this might sound a little bit beyond your realm. And this was me 4 years ago, and I was unaware of this, and I was closed-minded, and I was scared, and I lived in fear and guilt and shame. And I was like, nope, it's not this way, it's only that way, like it's only one way. But when I had my awakening and I began on my journey of healing, I'm telling you, like, allow yourself to feel into your body. Feel what your soul and your gut and your intuition are telling you, and follow that, because it's not going to steer you wrong. And some tools that helped me to rebuild me and rebuild my voice, because I will say, like, I gave the power of my voice away way back in childhood. Things took place, things happened. I lost, I gave up, whatever way you want to say, the power of my voice lost its power. And I felt that obviously within my throat chakra, my heart chakra. I didn't feel that anything I had to say mattered. I didn't feel that I was smart enough. I didn't feel that I was good enough. I didn't feel that I was funny enough. I didn't think that I was dramatic enough. I didn't think that I was worthy of anybody's eyes on me, because I felt ugly. I felt unlovable. Like all the icky things that you might be feeling or know somebody, I felt that. I lived with that. I held on to those energies for 54 years. And I just want to say that it can be healed, and it can bring lightness to your life and your heart, and it can bring you peace, and it can bring you back to your true authentic self if you make the choice to go in, push in, and feel things, heal things. Some things are really dark, and our subconscious might not even want to go there and open up that can. I chose to do that, and yes, it was dark, and yes, it was painful, and yes, it was scary, but I was at such a low point in my life that I was like, you know what, like there's nothing else on this earth that can shake me or rock me. Like I've already been to my dark moment, and I'm just going to allow that whatever happens and whatever comes up during these healing processes that's going to make me feel better, I'm doing it. And I just released control. I released my self-limiting doubts and beliefs, and my ability to say, no, I'm not doing that. That's not the way we do it. That's not the way my family's done it. That's not the way church does it. That's not the way politics does it. That's not the way society tells me to do it. I said, absolutely not. I am not listening to anything outside of me that tells me how I'm supposed to feel, what I'm supposed to look like, how I'm supposed to live my life, what I'm supposed to believe. I'm only staying inward. I will listen to things that can bring me knowledge and education and awareness of my own inner self. And I will make that determination of what resonates with me or what might not. But I'm not listening to the matrix of what tells us creates a happy, contentment-filled life. Absolutely no more. And there's nothing more satisfying and freeing and joyful and peaceful than releasing that, because that takes away the pressures that we have learned to have on ourselves, that have been put on ourselves. And we can unlearn that through a lot of self-realizing and assessing each day of like, what brings me contentment? What brings me joy? Why don't I think my voice matters? What happened in my past that I felt that I had to give up my voice and give everyone else the power? And I know what happened, and I know what took place. And I know that a lot of that has happened to you. And I want you to know, like, no, as children, nobody asked for that. You don't ask for stuff like traumatic things to happen. And I'll say sexual trauma, physical trauma, abuse, all the things that you might see in movies and think, oh my God, like I can't even believe that. But you know, that stuff is more common in our lives and the next door neighbors and the people around us that we're passing on the street, the people that we sit next to at work, the people in the restaurants, your family members. Nobody knows what's going on behind closed doors, and nobody knows what has taken place. So when you feel this, or you know someone that feels small, unworthy, they want to hide, they don't want to be seen, they don't matter, have compassion and love, and send them and yourselves grace, because this is hard stuff, but this can also be healed if you make the choice to do so. I decided to go on that healing journey, like I had mentioned, and through yoga and breath work, because our breath is a bridge between the poses and postures in yoga and the mindful focus, the meditation. That's a beautiful space to bring you power from within and to find your inner strength and your inner power. So yoga helped me through this. Meditation helped me through this. Going in on inner child healing generational trauma, releasing myself of the guilt and the shame and the fear that I carried throughout childhood of things that had been placed upon me, maybe things that I even took on as my own that weren't my own. And how many of us do that? And then as you grow older and you become an adult in life, you become the people pleaser. You become the codependent. That was me. But I have healed that. I am a work in progress, as we all are, and it never stops, and I never stop learning. But I am a recovered people pleaser and a recovered codependent. I'm aware of when things start to feel and fester up and like start going, my nervous system starts maybe wanting to go back to like what it's known its whole life. But I quickly am like, oh, okay, that feels like, nope, we're coming back here. I can push into this. And you know what? When I push into it and I allow myself to feel it, and give it a little while, feel into it. Ask yourself why. Like, it's okay, let's release it. Let it go, release it. Exhale all that trapped energy out and put it out into the universe. It's not yours any longer to carry. You're gonna feel lighter. You're gonna feel your voice wanting to speak up. You're gonna feel a little like pep in your step, and maybe your shoulders are gonna come back a little more to where you're not gonna feel like slumped over. If you look at somebody's posture and body mannerisms and stuff, you can see when somebody's going through and feeling small and not wanting to be heard or seen. A story I'd like to share with you is last year I went to a beautiful yoga retreat, the first one that I've ever been to. I had been on my healing journey for about 3.5 years, and I was starting to feel not so guarded and like I don't want to be around anybody because, like, what if they don't like me? What if they think I'm stupid? What if they think I'm too tall? What if they think I'm ugly? What if they think I'm fat? Like, what if they think blah, 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 all the things? The mind still plays games. The ego is always at work. So it's always a space for me to be aware of that. Okay, I see that I'm stepping back into old paradigms, but I'm not going to let that happen. I'm sucking myself right back into this beautiful space of peace and love for myself. So I opened myself up to go to this retreat in Big Bear. There was like 12 ladies there. I only knew about 2 of them. The rest were strangers and they all did yoga. So we all kind of had like, everybody's coming in from some space in their life, because I'm going to have to say, like, most of the people that come into yoga are on a journey of beginning to understand that something might not be feeling right within them. Maybe there's something more out in this life and world that they have felt or seen, like the world has more to offer than what has been given to them. So we're on a journey in yoga. And there was this one lady in particular she was small anyway, she was petite. I'm 5'11", so I'm very tall, so I notice everybody's height in the room, and she was very like, had her head down and like wouldn't communicate with the rest of everybody and put herself out there. And when we would meet together in a room to put our yoga mats down and do yoga, she would always wait at the very end and be the last one to put her mat out, and always find a tiny dark space to where she wasn't in front of anybody or being seen. She wanted to be out of everybody's vision. And so I watched this for like a day and a half, and then I went up to her and I, talked to her a little bit, and then I said, hey, like, I noticed that you always like put your yoga mat in the back. Like, how come you go to the back? She's like, well, I just don't feel comfortable. I'm like, I get it. I hear you. I'm like, are you afraid to be seen? And she kind of got serious because she was a little bit taken back that I asked her that. And honest to God, when I said that, when those words came out of my mouth, I was like, did I just say that? Did I just ask this stranger if she was afraid to be seen? Like, something in me knew that, and I wanted her to say it and pull it out of her so that she can begin to release that heavy energy and open up and feel a little bit worthy. So we did our yoga practice, and then afterwards we went to the table, and she was sitting at a table alone. She would always pick a spot by herself. So I went up to the table with her with a hot cup of tea and just started to talk small, and then we got a little bit deeper, and then I was explaining a little bit of my story and the way I felt. And before I knew it, like, tears were just coming down her face, like she was releasing, and she was feeling and felt seen. She felt heard. She felt understood. I was in her shoes, for the previous 54 years of my life, just like her. I felt that same way. And to have somebody feel you and validate you and hold space for you, and to be able to release that, that's just a beautiful space to be. And that felt so good to me, to be able to help somebody else of what I had gone through. Like, that was powerful. And like I said, I was kind of surprised. I'm like, what the hell just came out of my mouth? Like, okay. But it really, when she began to cry, and, I gave her a hug, and we were connected and present together, and she talked a little bit. She opened up a little bit, but my heart felt so expanded. And I'm like, God, this feels so good to help others that I know exactly how they feel. And that's my intention and why I put these videos out into the world, and to serve humanity, and to, like, guys, we are all the same. We are all going through these lessons of life, and we have darkness and we have lightness. We have hard times. We have good times. We have pain. We have love, like all the things we have, but we've all been through it. So by me sharing my story with you, that can offer you some love and compassion and understanding. And like, you're not alone. We are all the same. Us humans on this little blue and green marble floating through the cosmos and the universe is just a space for us to be together and one. We are all the same. Yes, we have different stories. We look different, but we are all the same. We are all human living in our little vessels on this earth. And I say this with love, and I know it's hard. So if you're feeling small, if you're feeling like you need to hide, if your voice doesn't matter, you feel that you aren't worthy enough to take up space in a room, offer yourself love and grace. You do matter. Your voice does matter. You have so much to offer this world, and you have light within you. It might have been dimmed, but it's still in there. And I would love to have you go in and push in and heal and do what you need to do in a constructive way to shine your light again. Because when your light shines, you're able to help others and serve others and let them know, hey, my light was dimmed, but now it's not. And that's me. My light was dimmed, and I went through the work. I chose to do the hard work. I chose to go in deep and heal. And now my light shines brightly, and I couldn't be more at peace with myself, the unconditional love I have for me and every living thing on this earth, the life that I have manifested, the home that I have manifested and created, because I am the creator of my life. And I choose to live in peace and joy and love. And you can too. So I say this with love, and I thank you for visiting my channel at I Say This With Love 33. If you're a visitor and you like this, go ahead and give it a thumbs up and hit the subscribe button. If you come here all the time, leave a comment in the comments section. I would love to talk with you guys and see how alike we are. I do say this with love. Namaste.